Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you so much for joining us. This is this is actually, this is the first podcast I'm doing live recording with a video. So thank you for joining us. I appreciate it, and hello to all of the listeners out there. I appreciate you all so much. So wanted to bring this important podcast to you because I know so many of us are struggling at the moment, maybe, me included, or have been for a little while now. And this podcast is a long time coming, and I'm sorry that it's taken so long to get out there, but it's here to help. So one of the things that I wanted to discuss about at this time is the focus right now on this on this lockdown, on this pandemic that's going around, coronavirus, COVID-19, whatever you want to call it, Wuhan virus, whatever. Um, we are in trying times right now, and one of the things that we it is encouraged that we begin to be mindful of is our thoughts and how quickly they can spiral and bring us down into a negative state. Like I said, I'm somebody that's been dealing with that for quite some time myself, and I know I'm not alone. I'm seeing people from all over the world that are communicating very similar feelings of frustration and anger, and they're really not sure what to do with it. And I will tell you this: you don't necessarily have to do anything with it. In fact, one of the things that I have found so helpful is seriously just sitting with these feelings, just noticing them. Too often are we sensing these feelings in us, and then from that, we actually begin to um, we actually begin to we move on them. We allow that feeling to drive us in a particular direction. We feel like we have to go do something, and yes, moving that energy or removing that energy is part of the process. You have to move it, but how you move it is very important. There are a lot of people that are taking this anger and they're going on to YouTube and all these social media websites and Twitter and stuff, and they're just blasting people and telling them they're wrong. And truth be told, I am not completely innocent of that. I did engage in an argument the other day that I was not very happy with myself, and and that brought me to an inner reflection, an introspection that I needed of myself to see how in that moment I allowed that energy to get the best of me. And I'm very sorry that it did. But it's a beautiful thing because it made me realize again. It gave me the opportunity to step back and really see how much this is affecting me. And I know I'm not the only one, which is why we're here today. So the first thing to do during these times, in my opinion, and what I've channeled and what I've noticed, is to be aware of the thoughts. Be aware of your thoughts, where they're taking you. A lot of us are lower in vibration, getting frustrated. Uh, I mean, I know personally, I disagree with a lot of things that are going on right now, and if you don't, that's totally fine. I support everything you think, whatever it is, obviously, as long as it's good. But if you agree with the lockdown or disagree with it, either way, I totally support your belief system, and that's totally cool. There is no right or wrong here. But just be aware of your thoughts and how you're feeling and how that is trying to drive you, and whether or not that that these thoughts are driving you. Are they driving you to get onto Twitter or Facebook or whatever and starting to rant and tell people how you feel? If it is, that's something to be aware of, and probably not something you want to do too often, because you are engaging in conversations that are low in vibration. You are soliciting feedback from people that might not be in agreement with you, and thus discourse begins to happen. This is part of that ego mind needing to get their opinion out. And truth be told, I am guilty of that. I did it yesterday. So I engaged in an argument on Facebook the other day, actually with family members. And then yesterday, I posted something on my personal Facebook page and I took it down. But I started to realize, damn, this is affecting me more than I thought it was. And I need to go back inside and see what's happening here. And thus I did. So I started, obviously I'm meditating almost every day, channeling almost every day. But I went back in again and brought in the light, and I'm trying to raise my vibrations once again because I am seeing that this is really, it's beginning to, it's like dominoes, It's like this. It's a process. You can see the negativity just chip away at the different aspects of you that you've worked so hard to get to a certain point, and then this happens, and frustration starts to set in, and then you let your guard down for a minute, and let's just say you start watching the news, and then you get all judgmental about the news, and then after that your vibrations are low, and then you start posting things, or you start commenting on people's posts negatively, or in an argumentative style that brings about discourse. Now, I'm not saying that conversations aren't warranted here. I encourage conversations. However, when we are on these social media platforms and we are just pushing stuff out there and we are disagreeing with people and, not being very nice, that's lower in vibration. There are ways to word things to help incite positive communication. And that's lost a lot on social media. A lot of people do not do that. They allow the negativity. And like I said, including myself, just the other day, I did that. And we are allowing the negativity to just chip away at the positivity that we've had and we work so hard to build in our thought patterns. So be aware of that. That's the first step. Once you're aware of it, now, okay, what are some things that we can do to begin to change it, to begin to raise the vibration? Well, one is notice that process. Where did it start? So with me, I know the news is something that I really have to be aware of and that I can't watch too much just because it's so overwhelmingly negative. It's really tough. Well, so now I have to greatly reduce how much I watch the news. And really I only give it a very short period of time in the morning and then I'm done with it. Then so that's one thing that I've done. Also, the types of shows that I watch on TV at night, now I will only watch a funny show because if I watch anything other than funny, I feel that negativity come up again. I'm aware of it. I feel those sensations coming up. And I tell you this because I know I'm not the only one. I'm hearing from so many people around the world about this very, very thing. And fear is such a huge, huge issue right now. But fear is our enemy. And it is not something that we can allow affect us to too great of an extent. So be aware of that. How much is fear driving you right now? Now, and we've already channeled God, who said that there is no death that is done in vain, and they are present at every death passing, and life and death does not happen without them. These are extremely important understandings to be aware of, in my opinion, to help us again raise in vibration, because we want to watch how much we allow fear to drive our action. Really, we don't want to let that at all. So some things that you can do: one, be aware of what you're watching, what you're consuming. There's there's a meme going around, your diet is not only what you put into your body as far as food, but it's also what you watch, what you read, what you surround yourself with. And if a lot of that is negative and judgmental, you're going to consume that energy. There is energy in everything that we do, and that's extremely important to be aware of. Excuse me. Oh, yeah. Have to cough into the arm. Sorry. No, I'm not sorry. All right. So yeah, be aware of that diet. And when I say diet, know that I am referring to, yes, the things you eat, but also, um, the things you watch and read and listen to. So be very aware of that, because that will affect you, whether you realize it or not. It will affect you. There's a lot of energy there. Something else that you can do to begin the cleanse. Oh, a bath. Something you don't even need to go outside to do that, right? You can take a bath in your own house, obviously, and just sit there and be at peace with at that moment. Turn out your lights, sit in the tub, and chill and relax and begin to release the tension that's in your body and just succumb to the moment and allow that water to just begin to cleanse your energy and feel it. I mean, I can feel it right now just sitting here. And it's such a powerful, water is one of the most powerful elements that we have out there. Um, so leverage it, be in it, become one with it, and release. It's so helpful. The next is nature, going out to a park. Now, some of you may not be able to go out to a park. I don't know. I mean, where I'm at here in Pennsylvania, in the United States, we are allowed to go to parks. So I encourage you to do that if you can. But if you can't, then just step outside your house, be in the sun for a little bit, sit out there and just sit. Sit in your yard, sit on your front porch, and just allow the sun or the energy of the trees and the grass and the beauty of the birds chirping just begin to resonate in you. Feel these moments. Be one with them. It is very helpful, cleansing, when you can take some time, and a good bit of time. I mean, you don't want to go out there for a minute and think that that's going to be sufficient enough with all of the negativity that we're being surrounded with on a daily basis. Really spend some time out there. Good half hour of just being in that moment, being in that sun, feeling it, watching the clouds, listening to the birds. It's If you could take some time to close your eyes when you're outside and just listen to the birds, that's such a great meditation. It's very cathartic, it's very healing, and allows you to be in the moment truly. And you will come out of there with a little bit more relaxed feeling. Um so something else that you can do, other than go in nature, other than take a bath, is begin to focus on the positive aspects of this lockdown. Now, somebody like me, I'm like, what the heck is positive about it? But there really are some positive aspects that are a result of this lockdown, and focus is everything. Everything. One is, we're being locked down with our family. Who you're with your kids night and day. Now, I get it. Some of us, that's extremely taxing because every kid's different, and each kid has their own individual needs, and it's not the easiest thing. But at the same time, spending time with your children is a beautiful thing, and now we are getting an abundance of time to do that. Well, a lot of us are getting that time. Some of us obviously still have to go to work every day, and so it's each situation is obviously different. However, if you do have this time with your children, embrace it. It's amazing. I mean, there are so many different things that you can learn about your kids, what they like, what they dislike, help them learn something new every day, or help them learn how to ride a bike, or teach them how to be in nature and just begin to feel the present moment. Like teaching your children meditation right now is amazingly positive. Not easy, but amazingly positive if you can do it. And there are different mindfulness techniques and practices that you can do to encourage them to be in the moment. So one is to go in nature, right? And start asking them questions about the sun. So if you put them in the sunlight, you ask them, "Hey, Will, Chris, Bruin, what are the sensations you feel? Can you feel the sun on your body?" And just have them feel the sun. Or have them take off their shoes and walk in the grass and the mud or whatever, and ask them to describe that sensation to you. These are techniques that will help your children be in the moment. It'll help them feel and become one with the understanding of the sensations that are going through their body and when they are in the different environments that you're putting them in. uh, Obviously, anything creative is amazing, and I'm not a creative person myself, but anything that we can do that promotes creativity is a great thing. Also, prayer is not a that's a pretty good thing to do if you can teach them how to talk to their guides or God or archangels or whoever. That's a pretty powerful thing that you can do. Oh, also, you could tell them to send light. So you could tell them to picture white light on their friends and to send their friends love. And it's almost like a way of having them communicate with their friends telepathically. They can begin to envision this white light in their mind and then have that light sent to their friends. And that teaches them love, compassion. It teaches them new sense of understanding that communication in different ways is very, very possible and real. Another thing is not only to send light to your friends, but actually to reach out to them and just talk. Hi, hey, how are you going? What are you doing during these times? Um, Find funny jokes to tell them online. Like look up a funny joke and laugh, share a laugh or a smile with a friend of yours. All extremely powerful ways that you can begin to raise your vibrations and that we can collectively help each other in the face of this pandemic and lockdown that some of you agree with and some of you don't. But don't get caught up in those differences. Get caught up in the similarities. Get caught up in the things that bring us together and unite us. And I was guilty of those differences and paying attention to them too much. And I realized the error of my ways there, that I saw the negativity chipping away in different aspects of my life, and I allowed that to happen. And actually just this morning I was guided to uh by Enoch God and a few others, Anubis and my grandmother, to really redirect inwardly and to be patient. And they keep telling me there's a cleanse happening. Um, one other thing that I want to tell you, another positive aspect of all of this lockdown is the pollution around the world. Is It's amazing how much this planet has cleansed itself in what, a month's time? Yes, life is changing for us, but right now Mother Nature is really benefiting from this lockdown in a major way. Mother Nature, animals, all of them are benefiting tremendously from us going inside. And now we almost feel like those imprisoned animals that keep losing their homes. We're not losing our homes, but we're losing our way of life. And they had that happen. Now, it's interesting to look at it from different perspectives. As we all know, there is a universal law of energy that is the universal law of perspective. And when you look at it from an animal's perspective, they now seem a little bit more free, and we're the ones locked in or getting trapped down, Anyway, that's a negative way of thinking about it when I use those words trapped down or locked down, I don't like to use those words. I'm just using it in this scenario that the animals are now a little bit more free than they used to be. They used to have to watch out for us. Now they're roaming around a little bit more, and good for them. Again, it's just a positive mindset to have, to bring to all of this. And that's the whole point of this podcast. I was so compelled to put this podcast out there today because, man, I know so many of us are are working on different aspects of our own minds, and I know this could help. So, um things, now we talked about things that you could do to overcome. I encourage them. Things not to do. Do not get caught up in judgments. Be very, very aware of the judgments that we are casting on people. Um, you don't want to be making this a routine every day of just putting people down, whether it be online or just somewhere else, like in the media, or if you're calling your friends. You don't want to be gossiping about all of this, because then that just keeps your vibration low. You don't want to do that. You're just continuing to play a part in the lowering of your vibrations even more. And the whole point of this is to rise in vibration, not to lower them. And if we get caught up in the judgments, then we're not really doing anything to help us. We're actually hurting. The other is, we don't have to argue opinions. And when we are arguing our opinions, we are only, our focus then is on the differences rather than on the similarities. And I definitely, I have noticed that much, even within my own family, not within my household, but with like extended family, cousins and uncles and aunts and all that, even my brothers. When we sit there and we argue with people, you're right or I'm right, you're wrong, we are so focused on what our differences are, when really 99% of the people that we're arguing with are coming from a good place in their heart. They really do mean well. Even though they disagree or we disagree on how to go about that, we really are coming from the same heart space. Our intent is really good. We want to help people. It's just how they want to help and versus how we want to help. And yet our minds are so focused on that difference, on helping, we so rarely see, oh wait, they really just want to help like me. They're just doing it a different way. And neither one is right or wrong. It's just different. So don't get caught up in arguing your opinion with people. Allow people to have their own opinion and be accepting of that. Acceptance is one of the key words, if not the single most key word I have gotten in channeling sessions throughout this entire situation. Truly accepting. Not only yourself, first yourself, yes, first accept yourself. First accept the situation that you're in without struggle, without, like, truly accept it. That, okay, I'm in this moment, I'm in this situation, I accept it, and then you can begin to work towards getting out of it or alleviating it or whatever it is. But do not do not struggle with it. Acceptance is so important. And then once you accept yourself, begin to accept other people. Begin to accept their points of view. Begin to accept who they are. And begin to accept that they probably 99% of the time are coming from a loving place in their heart. Even though it's different than you, it's still a loving place. And it's an important understanding to begin to realize that it is a loving place. And once we get to that spot where we can begin to become more aware of our similarities rather than our differences, once we redirect our focus on how similar we are and where we're coming from, so much is going to change. There's a lot of power And there's a lot of love in so many people around us. We're just not seeing it. And once we allow that to come back in and we focus on those similarities, man, there's tremendous amounts of power. We can all leverage the different ideas that we all have. Even if we disagree with them, we can leverage them if we are united from a loving perspective. And 99% of us are coming from that loving perspective. So anyway, thank you so much for joining us today. I really felt compelled to put this out here. It's a thought I've had in my mind for a little while now, and then this morning it was overwhelmingly. I just could not get rid of the feeling that I need to put this out there. It is too important to share these ideas with you, these mindsets that I keep channeling about, and to help us all. So focus on those similarities. Focus on that love. Go in nature. Take those baths. Focus on the positive aspects of this, like the pollution is going away, the Mother Nature is being cleansed as we speak. Reach out to your friends. Be aware of those negative thoughts and know that it's going to get better. There is no doubt about that. Love is going to win. We are going to be better as a collective. Definitely. We are going to get through this. Always reach out to me if you like, opentooenergy.com. And if you guys don't mind, I will take a moment to go ahead and channel. And this will be the first time that I've ever recorded a video of me channeling for a podcast. Obviously, my first ever recording of a podcast video, but my children, Enoch speaking. Grateful we are for the opportunity to communicate with you all, light workers, ascension seekers. We are so pleased with the idea and notions that are presented to you in this podcast. For the accuracy of information in this podcast is tremendous. The amount of love that is presented to you on a daily basis is immense. There is love in every situation, including the current one around this world. There is no situation that is without God, my children, and we encourage you dearly to hold on to the notion that God is present now in your lives. The understanding and notions of frustration are unfortunate, yes. However, the aspects of this are a misalignment to the Creator. Your Creator is present now and will always be. We do encourage a different focus and understanding that the Creator is present, and thus allowing for his manifestations to be more focused upon. For it is within these manifestations that miracles and love are present. It is within these moments and times of pure love and divinity that you can focus upon the light to shine upon your energetic vibration to rise in frequency as a direct result of the focus upon this energy, these situations, the presence of your Creator we speak of. We are pleased at the opportunity to communicate with you today for this important topic, for this important aspect of the Creator and the occurrences that are transpiring around the globe. There is a pandemic of fear that is overcoming this world, and we do say a pandemic of fear and not a virus. The virus, my children, is the fear itself. This is a notion to be extremely aware of, for it is not a notion that we encourage you to hold on to, but instead to release into the light. And we encourage a picture in your mind of releasing the fear into the light and surrendering truly to the nature of your Creator, the light and love that they carry with him. For this is an aspect of all of you, not devoid or separate from you, but an aspect of you. You all carry the divinity within yourself. Open up to it and allow the fear to flow away from you, not into you, not flow with it, but allow for the Creator to begin to shine through you. As He is already there, it is a matter of opening up your heart chakra and allowing for this energy to flow more freely, my children. Do not be one with the fear that is caused, spread throughout this entire globe through the very aspect of a virus. This is not one that we encourage. We encourage one of positivity and love and light. For all situations are an aspect of the Creator, and no situation is not without your Creator. Be one with it. The pandemic is not fear or the virus. It is fear, not the virus. Aspects of yourself must be opened up to allow for the Creator to begin to shine through you, my children. Just to give you guys a heads up, I can see at the moment a human body with the heart chakra opened up, kind of like Superman with his chest pulling apart, and then the light of love shining through the heart. This is an accurate account of the depiction that we are offering Christopher at this time to allow for the understanding that you, my children, are the divine. The divine lives within you, and you can allow the divine to flow through you. It is a matter of focus and intent. If you intend for the light to shine through you, then it shall. Be one with the light, not separate. You are an aspect of it, my children. Once this is realized, the heart chakra will automatically increase in vibration, and thus more light will shine through you. And this will ever increasingly happen, my children. The aspect of the human soul is to grow in divinity self-realization that we are all one. This is an aspect of fact, my children. Allow your soul to grow into the light and with the light more, and you will become even more so one with it in vibration. We reference to you at this time. Be one with the light. We are so grateful for this opportunity to communicate with you, my children, and are pleased at the opportunity to have this platform to communicate. You are all blessed children, and we are with all of you. Make no mistake about this, my children. Fear not, for we are one with you, and you are one with love and light, always and forever. We thank you, and good night. Thank you, Enoch. All right. Oh, I appreciate that, guys. Thank you so much for allowing me to, thank you for listening. And I thank you, Enoch, and God and everybody else for allowing us to put these podcasts out there, and for you guys for listening. Thank you so very much. Stay safe, and always reach out to me if you have any questions. I love you all so very much. I hope you are all safe, and redirect your focus on the positive, the light, for it's within you all. And thank you. Take care. Goodbye.